Alright, so I am totally just freestyling this today. I barely just woke up, but I know I haven't posted in a while, and I know I'm way behind on my weekly postings to make my goal for the year, which is to average out one upload a week. But um, it's just something quick, I guess kind of a ramble, but I want to talk about what do you do when you feel like you're just deep in the hole, you know, deep in the shit. Um, and really, I'm talking about myself, um, which, could apply to you if you're in a similar situation. But, um, like, what do I do when I'm stewing in my own shit, basically, right? So, whether we're talking about dealing with a family death, losing a best friend, um, you know, getting out of a relationship, being heartbroken, getting dumping someone. Um, just, think about the most emotionally impactful thing for you, right? And, for me, I would say definitely relationships is one of the big ones. So, um, I think going through that process of, being so emotionally impacted, um, of course, in a way that you don't want, right? In an undesirable way. Um, you know, I feel like sometimes we just feel like we're so affected by the event. It's so life changing that, I think for some people, we become like paralyzed. Um, I feel like some people, they mask the pain, or they kind of don't deal with the pain or delay the pain uh, by procrastinating. Um, Wait, no, by doing something, right? By doing something else, keeping themselves busy, drowning them. I'm talking to my camera. Uh, Why, you want to join? um, Sorry, I just got interrupted, but um, some people work the pain away. Some people, work out like crazy. Some people, I don't know, I guess socialize or whatever. Uh, Other people drown themselves out by playing games. Some people like isolate themselves. Um, some people just feel very paralyzed and can't really do anything. Um, but no matter what it is that they do, you know, it's something, right? Something, maybe something out of the normal routine, or uh, even maybe something in the normal routine, but 10x or something, um, and like neglect other things like eating or socializing, or just kind of taking care of themselves. So um, I I think like when we're going through it, going through the process, sometimes it is very crushing, right? The feeling is crushing, and um, I think we kind of like do whatever we can to you know hopefully to minimize that feeling, and sometimes we don't know how to handle, um, so we just end up stewing in our own shit. Um, but yeah, so like sometimes for me, like my appetite get like completely shot. I could go on through the entire day, and um, maybe I'll be my body would be like physically empty and like hungry, but the appetite and the mood and the enthusiasm to eat is just at a zero. So, sometimes I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to eat, but you know, I try to be like as rational as possible, um, because I know that I should eat. Um, so therefore, like, sometimes I have to like force myself to eat, kind of force feed, but not force feed to eat in a surplus, but force feed so like I don't die from starvation. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's like other things. It's like, um, it's hard to complete everyday tasks, right? If you're one of those people that um, find it hard to function, and not one of those people that become extra high functioning. So, um, I think that's one thing like I try my best to do, to just kind of maintain my health as best as I could. And this is not my room, by the way. It's like pretty kitty and I think girly. I mean, shit, like it's like pink everywhere. Oh, here, ice cream, or that's a cake. I don't know. But yeah, I think another thing that I try to do, to kind of like get, not even get my grooves going, but like to kind of force myself out of a rut, as hard as it is. Like, I know, you know, I'm going through that right now. Um, to force myself out of just a standstill is one of the things that I've really been prioritizing, prior to my rut is connecting with people and talking to people. Uh, as much as I prefer to self isolate, um, for me, I find that I actually really enjoy um, talking and connecting with people. Even though I feel awkward doing it, and even though I see myself as an awkward turtle, and, I get like all the nervousness and you know social anxiety and whatnot. But beyond all that, I really enjoy like connecting with people. Um, so I think me like talking to people and just kind of get the conversation going. It brings a it's kind of it breaks up the routine a little bit. It gives me a little peek into someone else's life. Um, and it's also an opportunity for me to share a little bit about my life to another person. And I think really the beauty of talking to other people is that sometimes you might get like some good advice, um, or like a different perspective, but um, like even when you don't quote unquote get anything useful out of it, um, it the different perspective um, that you get from someone might not necessarily apply to you in the moment or be really useful or make sense when you hear it. But oftentimes I find that the things that people say or the perspective that they bring, um, like oftentimes I sit with it, and um, it it might like kind of shift the way I think a little bit. Whatever it is, right? Like whether it has anything to do with like fitness or just like personal growth, or how I approach like my views on relationships, or friends, or business, or anything like that. um, I might not necessarily like implement like what the other person is doing, um, but I've been finding myself being a lot more open to just listening to people, and kind of like taking things into consideration, and kind of like breaking bits and pieces apart, and you know applying it to um, my own life philosophy. Like I might not use 100% of you know a person's advice, but I might like take 5% of it, and like maybe integrate it into um, my routine, or my habits or whatever. So um, that's the beauty of connecting and talking to people, um, regardless if they share the same or the a different perspective and ideology as me. So that's kind of one thing that I do, talk to people. And the other thing, find the motivation as best as you can, to just do something different. I know for me, it's like when I'm in my own shit, when I'm stewing in my own shit, um, it's really hard for me to function, um, because I'm so paralyzed by my thoughts, and um, my emotion. Then it's just like I don't want to do anything, and that's totally not me, because I pride myself in working super hard and hustling and like moving fast and doing a lot. Um, and I never ever really feel like bored or anything, because I'm just so occupied most of the time. So, but man, like one little, okay, it's not little thing, but like one thing in life can affect me to like this degree. So like big emotional, impactful things can impact me to basically bring me from a high functioning individual into like a like a zero output type of person. Not completely zero, but like towards that direction. But so yeah, like even finding the motivation to just kind of like do something different, um, is it can be difficult, um, but it sometimes I feel like a really good thing to do is to just like take take yourself out of the your environment. Take yourself out of your normal environment, and you don't know like what it might bring. Like it might bring nothing. Like you visiting another state um, might not do anything for you, but you never know. Like you never know. Like it might do a lot for you, right? You might meet like someone that you have a really good conversation with, and that breaks up your normal train of negative thoughts. You might find something inspirational um, in nature. When you go visit a a state park that you've never been to. Um, you like anything can happen, uh, but I think just being locked up and holed up in your normal environment, at home or wherever, um, it's probably not the best environment to be in. Um, Especially like if you want to kind of get a with a different perspective on life, environment, people, um, and like you know, especially if like your home is like where all the emotions happen, whether it's good or bad or whatever, and you're there like every single day, every single night. Um, I think injecting something new into your life um, might, you know, give you a little bit of hope and even, a little bit of distraction. And maybe sometimes, like, distractions are exactly what we need um, to kind of smooth up the edges. The edges being the harsh um, emotional toll that we're going through. So, um, yeah, I mean, right now I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm gonna here with my sister and her boyfriend. I flew out here to the west, not west, to the west coast, best coast, to the east coast. And yeah, it's just crazy how like everything aligned because I had booked this trip prior to everything that's been happening for me recently. And I was like, wow, like the universe is really speaking to me um, in like, oh hey, like we knew this was coming, therefore like the flight and everything was already booked. So right now we're in this like pretty like vintage but like nice um, Airbnb uh, that we got for like 3 days. Um, and we're gonna hit up like Pocono Mountain State Park. Supposedly really nice. I have to get me like a Philly cheesesteak, even though I'm not in Philadelphia. Um, Even though this, yeah. But anyways, uh, looking forward to the trip. Um, um, you know, Sometimes we just gotta do our best to be as positive as we can, as hard as it may be. Um, and yeah, like reach out to people, like just talk to people. It might make you feel better, and you know, do something different. You know, my friend David recently challenged me to do something new as like just a challenge for the year or something. But I challenge you to do something new, whether it's small or big, and yeah, it might do something for you. But yeah, we'll talk next time. Bye.